They say Vladimir Putin is the hardest man on earth to track. His presence is not just hidden, it's engineered into a mystery so deep that even Donald Trump, a man surrounded by one of the most advanced security details in the world, admitted he was shocked. Think of being inside the White House bubble, and then seeing a system that makes the Secret Service look like amateurs. That's how baffling Putin's fortress appears to outsiders. The engine of this shadow empire is the Federal Protective Service, FSO. Officially, it's a state agency. In reality, it operates like a kingdom of paranoia, with a rumored budget surpassing $2 billion every year. The FSO doesn't just protect Putin's body, it protects his very existence. They decide who sees him, who speaks to him, and sometimes, whether he even seems to exist at all. Multiple motorcades thunder through Moscow at the same time. All bulletproof, all armored, each surrounded by elite tactical squads. From above, they look identical. But which one carries Putin? Or is it possible none of them do? That's the genius. No one outside the inner circle ever really knows. This system turns a simple question: where is Putin right now? Into the most unsolvable riddle in global politics. And when even a US president is left scratching his head, you realize this isn't just protection, it's power. Because if no one can find you, no one can touch you. When Putin moves, it's like watching a chessboard in motion. Nothing is random, and every piece is designed to confuse. Multiple convoys speed out from different corners of Moscow, each a fortress on wheels. Sleek black limousines reinforced with bulletproof armor, flanked by SUVs loaded with heavily armed operatives. Helicopters hover overhead, while plainclothes officers melt into the crowd. The real Putin could be in any car, or in none of them at all, but the motorcades are only the beginning. Inside the Kremlin, paranoia becomes architecture. Every hallway is wired with sensors. Every doorknob could conceal a trap. Every chair carefully arranged to prevent ambush. The Kremlin itself is a high-tech labyrinth, a palace redesigned not for beauty, but for survival. Even his staff live under constant suspicion. Chefs, cleaners, and even janitors are rotated frequently. Conversations in break rooms are recorded, loyalty is tested, and even the smallest slip can end a career overnight. Nothing escapes the surveillance net. Trust is never given, it's earned, again and again. His meals are perhaps the most symbolic of this paranoia. Food tasters sample everything before it reaches the table. Glasses are sealed, silverware sterilized, and sometimes meals are prepared by teams who don't even know who they are cooking for. To the FSO, every crumb could be a weapon. This level of control sends a chilling message. Putin doesn't just expect protection, he demands certainty in a world built entirely around mistrust. If physical protection is one side of the coin, the other is illusion. Putin's security doesn't just keep him safe, it makes him appear untouchable, even superhuman. In 2023 alone, Western intelligence reported 5 simultaneous Putin sightings within just 48 hours. 5 cities, 5 different appearances. And not one agency could confirm which, if any, was real. This isn't science fiction. It's a carefully choreographed strategy of doubles, decoys, and misdirection. Sometimes body doubles mimic his walk, his expressions, his mannerisms. Sometimes staged appearances are filmed and released later, blurring timelines. The result is a fog of uncertainty so thick that even seasoned intelligence officers are left second-guessing themselves. And it doesn't stop at the physical. In the digital world, Putin is a ghost. Every communication is stripped of metadata, scrubbed clean of digital fingerprints, and rerouted through military-grade underground servers. There are no slip-ups, no accidental leaks, no candid moments. Everything the public sees is deliberately constructed. This illusion feeds his political power. When an enemy doesn't know where you are, they can't attack you. When a population doesn't know when you'll appear, they believe you're everywhere at once. That's the brilliance of the illusion. Putin doesn't just disappear, he multiplies. And in global politics, perception can be deadlier than any weapon. World leaders are no strangers to elaborate protection. Kim Jong-un rides with human shields jogging beside his limo. Xi Jinping commands the entire skies to clear through cloud seeding before he steps outside. Mohammed bin Salman flaunts AI-powered palaces and cars worth millions, built to self-destruct if compromised. But Putin's security belongs to a darker category. His system isn't just about armored cars or encrypted communications. It's about confusion as a weapon. While others build fortresses, Putin builds uncertainty. Donald Trump once remarked on how astonishingly unpredictable Putin seemed. Even as a president used to the precision of the US Secret Service, he admitted Putin's methods were baffling. In America, motorcade routes are coordinated with local police, sometimes even announced. In Russia, Putin's motorcades appear like ghosts, sudden, fast, and impossible to follow. Where Xi edits reality with algorithms and cameras, Putin edits reality with absence. Where Kim projects fear through choreographed loyalty, Putin projects fear through invisibility. His strategy is designed not only to block threats, but to make threats impossible to even plan. And this difference matters, because while others lean on spectacle, Putin leans on shadows. He isn't just harder to kill, he's harder to even see, and that makes him the most unpredictable leader alive. Putin's security isn't simply about keeping bullets away, it's about shaping minds. To his enemies, it creates a wall of frustration. To his allies, it builds a legend of invincibility. To the Russian public, it paints their leader as untouchable, almost mythical. Every layer of secrecy sends the same message: you can't reach me. Public appearances are choreographed like stage plays. Putin, riding horseback shirtless in Siberia. Putin is sitting at the far end of a massive table during tense negotiations. Putin suddenly appeared at a military drill. Each image is deliberate, reinforcing the illusion that he is omnipresent and always in control. The psychology is powerful. People don't just see a man, they see a symbol, a leader who cannot be pinned down, who cannot be cornered, who cannot be touched. The uncertainty itself becomes the weapon. Because in politics, perception is power, and Putin has weaponized that perception like no one else. This is why even Trump, who understands spectacle better than most, admitted he was taken aback. He recognized that Putin's true strength wasn't just in tanks or missiles, it was in the fear and mystery surrounding his very presence. In the theater of power, Putin doesn't just act, he directs the entire play. But there's a darker side to this fortress. The Federal Protective Service reportedly consumes over $2 billion annually, draining resources into layers of secrecy and mistrust. For Russia, that's a staggering cost. For Putin, it's the price of survival. Yet behind the walls of protection lies something more dangerous: isolation. Every staff member is monitored, conversations recorded, and movements tracked. Chefs are rotated, guards replaced, aides constantly vetted. In such a world, trust evaporates. Loyalty isn't friendship, it's surveillance. This paranoia has consequences. Leaders who build fortresses often become prisoners of their own defenses. Surrounded by yes-men, cut off from ordinary life, they see the world only through controlled briefings and staged appearances. History has shown how quickly such isolation can breed mistakes, even within regimes built on fear. Inside this bubble, even allies can look like enemies. Whispers of purges and swift punishments inside Putin's circle suggest that suspicion is not just policy, it's survival. The very system that shields him also ensures he lives in constant fear of betrayal. In the end, his security is both armor and a cage. Because what is power worth if you can never truly stand unguarded? Putin's security isn't just protection, it's a weaponized illusion. A $2 billion fortress of shadows that bends reality, erases certainty, and leaves even seasoned leaders like Donald Trump stunned. To the outside world, it looks like paranoia. But inside Russia, it feels like invincibility. Because what's more powerful than tanks or missiles? Fear. The fear that you never know where he island. The fear that he could be everywhere or nowhere at all. That's the brilliance of Putin's invisible empire. It doesn't just guard him from bullets, it guards him from weakness. Yet here's the paradox. The very walls that make him untouchable also make him a prisoner. A ruler protected from the world, but also cut off from it. So we ask you, is Putin's greatest weapon really his security? Or the fear it plants in every mind that dares to question him? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell, because the next secret may shock you even more. Thanks for watching.